Hey everyone, welcome back to Scorecard Collectibles. Dave here, and I'm so glad you could join me for my Footy Stars final album update. We're going to be going through all of the different inserts as well as all the highlights cards, including my final unboxing of the Grand Final Hilites. I will be doing my Optimum collection in a separate video coming up very soon, but let's jump into our Footy Stars final album update. Let's start with the Holographic Foils. These were one per packet, and there's 8 players per team. I have collected almost all of the set. I think there's just about 4 that I'm missing. And I'm putting a white piece of paper behind each page so that if there are gaps, it's not confusing. I really love the spiral designs of these. They look really, really awesome. Especially in the binder all together. So far we've had all teams present. I am curious to see what Select come up with for their 1 card per pack card next year. So we have our first gap in the collection. There is a Hawks card I am missing. Someone between Silk and Cousins. Those Hawk spirals are very hypnotic. Of course, the reigning premiers, the Demons. There are 2 Roos that we are missing. Well, we've got a Sainter that's gone MIA. So there's an eagle that has not flown home yet. I think that's the final card that I'm missing. Final page of our holographic foils. Really like these cards. They're a really fun set to collect, and hopefully I can pick up the final cards I need to complete the set. Let's take a look at my Starburst caricature collection now, and there is 4 players per team. I have collected quite a lot of these, but not all. As you can see, there is a Collingwood that I'm missing, which is Taylor Adams, which I did actually pick up in the Fire variant. We will look at the Fire variants very soon. Got a missing Freo on this page. Poor Ethan looks like he's just seen a ghost. They look so cool when you've got a full page. So that is where my camo Starburst collection sits at the end of the season. But there was, of course, the Fire variants where you got one in every starter pack. The Flames look so cool. That's the Taylor Adams I mentioned that I don't have in the normal version but do have in the Fire. There are a couple of other variants that I don't have in the Camo that I do have in the Fire variants. Including also Tom Lynch. And then I've got the 4 Bulldogs on their own page because I got all Fire variants of the Bulldogs. Time now for the Gamebreakers inserts. I think these look really cool, and I have made quite inroads, pretty good inroads to getting the whole set, but of course don't have them all. But let's go through what I do have. There is, what is it, 4? No, 5 per team. I did say that I've made inroads into collecting the whole set, but clearly there are some big gaps still left to fill. But then some other pages are, as you can see, more filled in. And that's my Gamebreakers collection. Let's now go through the collection of acetate cards. These look really great, especially with that white background I've put in. Let's go through these. I think they're really, really sick looking. I think I've done pretty well collecting a lot of these. And that is the acetate collection. Let's now have a look at one of my favourite inserts every year, the Milestone game cards. And we kick things off with our bronze 100 gamers. We've got Harris Andrews, Jack Martin, Josh Thomas, Adam Sard, Anthony McDonald-Tipperwoody, Rory Lobb, Jake Kolajasny, James Harms, Christian Salem, and turning the page we have Josh Walker, Scott Lysette, Darcy Byrne-Jones, Kane Lambert, Camden McIntosh, Zach Jones, Tom Hickey, Liam Duggan, and Caleb Daniel. For our silver 150 gamers, we have Taylor Adams, Devon Smith, Michael Hibbert, Adam Tomlinson, Tom Jonas, Nick Voston, Bradley Hill, Jake Lloyd, and Sam Reed. I do also have a Lockie Whitfield. In our gold 200 gamers, we have Rory Sloan, Mitch Robinson, Zach Toohey, Shane Mumford, Ben Strassen, Sean Atley, Jaron Geary, Andrew Gaff, and Jack Darling. And we have 6 platinum milestones for the 250 gamers. We have Patrick Dangerfield, we have Jared Harbrow, we have Todd Goldstein, we have Paddy Ryder, Trent Cotchin, and Josh Kennedy. And these are my 4 best and fairest cards. These were available in the binders. We've got Adelaide's Riley O'Brien, Port Adelaide's Darcy Byrne-Jones, and the Bulldogs' Caleb Daniel. And I was also very excited to do a trade to get this Taylor Adams Copeland Trophy Best and Fairest medal winning Pies card. So those are my best and fairest cards. Let's now have a look at the Select Highlights. These are of course the print-on-demand cards that you can buy through Select's website, only for 24 hours, a few days after the end of each round. And taken together, they make up a really great scrapbook of history that was season 2021. So let's take a look back. And we had round 1, Tex Walker with 5 goals. Round 2 was the Bont with the Sealer. We, in round 3, had Zach Bailey kicking that goal after the siren against the Pies. We had round 4, Jack Steele with 33 disposals. Oscar Allen with an awesome mark in round 5. Round 6 was the Anzac Day game, and Darcy Parish with an awesome performance. Just one of many great performances he had this year, winning the Anzac Day medal. We had Tom Papley in round 7 with the match-winning goal. Shea Bolton in round 8 took that absolute blinder of a Specky Mark of the Year contender. It would go on to be the Mark of the Year. In round 9, we had Dusty with 4 goals and 28 disposals. And for round 10, we had Nat Fife with the match winner. Jake Stringer was the highlight in round 11. And we had Jamie Elliott in round 12. Returning after a long spell out with injury, returning to boot 6 goals. That was definitely one of my highlights for the year. Round 13 was Josh Kennedy, and round 14, Gary Rowan with the match winner. Tim O'Brien took a contender for Mark of the Year in round 15. We had Sam Walsh in round 16 with the Sealer. We had Brodie Grundy in round 17 with 40 hitouts and 22 disposals. Luke Bruce kicking 3 goals in that draw with Melbourne in round 18. Then for round 19, we had another Mark of the Year contender with Isaac Heaney. We had Andrew Brayshaw in round 20. Peter Wright booting 7 goals in round 21. Round 22 was Caleb Sarong kicking the match winner, and another match winner, Max Gawn, in round 23. Moving on to the finals, we had Libba in the first elimination final with 35 disposals. In elimination final 2, we had Toby Green with 3 goals, 10 disposals. Clayton Oliver with 4 goal assists and 33 disposals in that qualifying final against the Lions. And Ollie Wines with 33 disposals, 16 contested possessions against the Cats. We had Bailey Smith with 3 goals, 27 disposals against the Lions. In the first semi-final, we had Tomahawk with 5 goals in the second semi-final. And then in the preliminary final, we had Max Gawn with 5 goals, 19 disposals against the Cats. And Bailey Smith again in the second prelim with 4 goals, 23 disposals. So obviously the prelims weren't the final games of the year. There was a little game between the Demons and the Doggies. That's right, the grand final, we don't have those yet. Let's solve that and open them right now. Well, it's been a long time coming, kind of like Melbourne's Premiership victory, but we get to finally finish off our highlights collection for 2021 with the Grand Final Hilites. Finally get a chance to open these, and we do have the black pouch. Very cool. I love the sleek black design. Let's hope for some really awesome numbers from these. We have the Bailey Fritsch highlight and the Christian Petrarca Norm Smith card. That's what we're just saying. There is Christian, the Norm Smith medalist highlight. 39 disposals, 2 goals, and our Bailey Fritsch, 6 goals, 13 disposals. Let's turn these over and see what number we let's hope we can go out on a high one. 233, no, not with Bailey, but 233 of 462. Christian, what have you got for us? Here we go. Oh, not really, no. 384 is going in the wrong direction, but 820 of these cards were manufactured. 384, but what a memorable grand final, especially if you are a Demons supporter. There you go, our highlights collection is now done. Well, we couldn't go out with any super low numbers, but they have now taken pride of place in the highlights collection, finishing them off for the year. But it wasn't just the weekly highlights that we had. We also had the milestone game highlights. Selective typically had 300 game milestones as a case card in their products, but as we've sort of moved into a card market where buying cases isn't really a thing anymore, we had these highlight milestone cards. So we had 10 of them. Let's go through them now. So we kick things off with Nathan Jones in round 6 playing his 300th game. We had Silk playing his 400th game in round 16, obviously quite appropriately against Port Adelaide. He did play 157 games for Port, and at that time he played 243 for the Hawks, of course retiring later that year. Jack Riewoldt, 300th game in around 18. We had Travis Boak just a round later playing his 300th game. We had David Mundy playing his 350th, also in round 19. round later, we had Shannon Hearn playing his 300th game in that loss to the Pies. We had Mark Murphy play his 300th game against Port in round 22 and retired. And we also had Eddie Betts hanging up his boots. He played 350 games, 132 of those for Adelaide. We had Tom Hawkins play his 300th game against Port. Port seemed to be having a lot of milestone games played against them. That was Tom Hawk's 300th game. And we had Joel Selwood play his 333rd game, making him the Geelong Cats all-time game record holder. Now, it's not just the AFL highlights that get released each week. Every round there is a NAB Rising Star nominee, and each of those got a card of their own. And we kicked the first 3 rounds off with all Sydney players. We did get a Brandon Campbell DPS in Optimum. And Luke Jackson would, of course, go on to win the NAB Rising Star. But lots of awesome efforts from the young players of our great game. And we did also get Jack Bowie his DPS as well, and you have Luke Jackson with the NAB Rising Star winning card at the end. So our lowest numbered NAB Rising Star and lowest numbered card overall from these highlights was Cos with, we got number 2 of 265. And then Miles Bergman on 18 was the second lowest. Well, we had 29. We had Gordon and Campbell, 29 and 31. The Nathan Jones 300 game milestone card was number 5 of 242. And for our normal highlights, we had our round 10 Nat 5, which was also numbered 5 of 211. We had a Jack Steele number 14 of 197 and Oscar Allen number 15 of 229. And I also really love that our preliminary final max scorn card was an error card where it said max. That's what it's supposed to look like, so I always love error cards. And finally, we come to the box hits and better than box hits, and we kick things off with the bang cards. They were 1 per box, and we picked up Hugh McCluggage from the Lions, Zach Tui from the Cats, Darcy Tucker from the Dockers. We got a James Harms from Melbourne, Tuke Miller from the Suns, Chad Wingard from the Hawks. We got 3 Collingwood bangs. We got the infamous misspelt Josh Dacos, which is very cool. We got Pendles, which from memory, I think that was number 4 or 5, which was very, very cool. And Darcy Moore, which I got in a trade. And our 10th bang was Tom Rockcliffe, and I've put him there because he's sitting next to his Brownlow Predictor. Of course, he did retire this year. And our other Brownlow Predictors, we picked up Ben Cunnington. We got Matt Crouch from the Crows, Andrew McGrath from the Bombers, and our one and only wildcard was St Kilda. Speaking of one and only, we only managed to pick up one of these Lightning Starburst cards, which is kind of weird because they're 1 in every 2 boxes, yet we got more case cards, so like 1 in every 12 box hits. But we could only pick up 1 of these, which is 1 every 2 boxes. So I guess we're just getting every second box that didn't have one. But finally in the end, we did pull this Zane Cordy Bulldogs Lightning. I think that looks so cool. We picked up 1 Premiership Predictor very late in the season with Freo. Obviously, they weren't even in the finals, but I was happy to pick up any Premiership Predictor, and we picked up 2 Coleman Predictors. This was of course the very first year that Select started doing the Coleman Predictor cards. We got the Lions, and we also got the Geelong. If you've watched an episode of Score Centre this year, you would absolutely be aware that I got the number 1 Geelong, number 1 of 140 Coleman Predictor, and we got so close, 4 goals away in fact. Tom Hawkins just 4 goals behind, levelling Harry Mackay, and if they finished the year on the same amount of goals, they would have both won the Coleman. So it wasn't to be, but it did provide so much excitement to see if we could redeem this in the end. I think they're really cool looking cards, and it's a great idea, and hopefully they continue that next year. Well, that is my Footy Stars collection for 2021. I'm not updating my Prestige because I have not added any more cards to that collection, but I will be doing an Optimum album update very soon. And as I'm sure all of you know by now, Select have announced on, I think it's the 13th, they're doing a live reveal for Supremacy, which is going to be absolutely incredible. I can't wait. We will of course be opening Supremacy on the channel, so if you're not already a subscriber, please hit that big red button and come join the Scorecard family. And if you are a subscriber, thank you so much. Your support means so much to me. Until next time, stay cool, take care. My name is Dave, this is Scorecard Collectibles, and I can't wait for you to join me next time.